Chapter 9 addresses two topics. First, what are called the independent personal pronouns, and second, cal participles. A pronoun is a word that stands in place of a noun. Consider these English examples. Jim hit Bill with the ball. We can replace any of those nouns with what we call a pronoun. He hit Bill with the ball. Or Jim hit him with the ball. Or Jim hit him with it. He, him, and it are all English pronouns taking the place of nouns in the sentence. The paradigm for the Hebrew independent personal pronoun, meaning the pronoun that stands on its own apart from another word, is as follows. Note that we again work from the third masculine singular to the first common singular, and from the third masculine plural to the first common and plural. Who, he, either ata or ata, notice the two different spellings, at, and then ani or anoki. And then in the plural, haim, hema, hena, atem, atin, atena, and anachnu. Just like the other memory paradigms, this paradigm should be carefully memorized and you should be able to reproduce it. It may be helpful in memorizing the paradigm for the independent personal pronoun to note that in the second and first person forms, there is a noticeable similarity to the endings of the perfect. The perfect, second masculine singular, katalta, ends in ta, which is very similar to ata in either spelling. The second feminine singular, katalt, ends in a tav with a silent schwa, as does at, the second feminine singular, you, feminine singular. The first common singular form, katalti, ending in a hirek yod, likewise ani anoki, ending in a yod. Kutaltem and kutaltin, ending in tim and tin, and then atim and atin, though note again the variant form atena, and the first common plural katalnu, ending in nu, likewise anachnu, the first common plural independent pronoun, which we would translate as we. Typically, the independent personal pronoun will serve as the subject of a clause. For instance, Genesis 9:9, Va'ani hineni mekim et bariti itkem. In this case, the clause begins with a vav, the connector and then the independent personal pronoun, ani, and I. And then this is actually a form of hine with a hirek yod, e suffix. From what you know, even though you have not seen suffixes on hine, this shows a very similar connection to the pronoun. And in fact, this is a suffix meaning me. So, and I, look, I, then what is called a hiphil participle that we will cover in a future chapter. I am establishing my covenant. Note that the E here is again the possessive suffix, my covenant, which we will cover in a future chapter. And then this is the preposition et, with, and then kem is a suffix on that preposition. Though you do not yet know all the forms to translate the sentence, note that it begins with and I, an independent personal pronoun being the subject of the clause. In Genesis 15:1, we have Anochi Magain Lak. I, independent personal pronoun. Magain is glossed as a shield, and then this is the preposition lamed, two or four, and the kaf is the possessive suffix, for you. So again, the subject is Anochi, an independent personal pronoun. You will also remember that a Hebrew verb typically will encode its subject within its verbal form. For that reason, if an independent personal pronoun is used, then that independent personal pronoun will signal an emphasis. For instance, Adonai hu ha-Elohim, ein od. The Lord, He is God. There is no other. You could simply have said Adonai ha-Elohim and made a verbless clause. The addition of the pronoun puts an emphasis, not simply the Lord is God, the Lord, He is God. And then the particle of non-existence, ein, there is no other.